intercepted a number of letters between him and his mother. Those letters were forwarded to James Angleton in the summer of 1962. In the summer of 1963, Oswald attempted to infiltrate the CIA's favorite Cubans in New Orleans. He was arrested. The FBI sent reports on Oswald's arrest to Angleton's staff. They knew that he had attempted to infiltrate a CIA-funded group, that he had been arrested. And then they learned that he had attempted to travel to Cuba, a violation of U.S. law at the time, and he had made contact with a KGB officer in Mexico City.
Okay, Mr. Morley, did the CIA or FBI have intelligence prior to the assassination of President Kennedy Lee Harvey Oswald intended to kill him?
No.
Did the FBI did not either?
No.
No one did. And then how do we, Mr. Davison, how do we make sure the government is more transparent with Congress? You have 20 seconds. Good luck.
I think...
And we were lied to about drones just in the last few months. And so when we talk about this,
So I'm kind of confused. I don't know. I thought I had a different clip there.
What was that?
That was the latest congressional hearing on JFK's assassination, because some news broke. But that's the news. It was a hearing.
I mean, that shit's so irrelevant to that was like in the 1960s. I don't understand why that makes, like, who cares, honestly, at the end of the day. So, I don't know. I don't know, what is that going to really reveal, or what is that going to accomplish? Did the CIA withheld information or something?
No, they engineered his death.
Well, I mean, people already thought that anyways in the past, like.
Yeah,
you know?
no. It's still just a shock to hear that your own, military killed him.
Yeah, but that was how many years ago now?
I don't know. 60 years? That,
Anyways, I already thought that, when I learned about it when I was a kid, and afterwards I was like, this is, the CIA and the Soviet Union had a big part in it, I think, really, or the mafia or the mob with the CIA, because he was coming after the mob.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But the whole thing had to do with the military and the war with Cuba and Russia. Like, it's a big global chessboard, so people just want to know, like, who are the names, But
yeah.
Nobody really will know for sure, but it's just a tragedy. So it's like, it just rehashes for people. But I asked my dad, he was like, if Trump wins, I really want to find out who killed Kennedy. That was the first thing he said to me. I was like, oh, wow. Because just imagine that moment. If you were an American and you witnessed that, you would have been in shock, and you've been like, and you know how you don't believe the news? You're like, oh shit, like the real killers are out there. Like,
Sure, I mean, I can only imagine that happening like now, almost happened to Trump, so. And that one, and it's funny because no one heard about it after the fact, like no one heard about the guy who did it, and there was no investigation into this guy, and nothing was concluded from that, really, unless I missed out information on it, I don't know. I would like to hear more about the Epstein thing, that's what I would like to hear more about. I want him to reveal the names of all the Democrats that went to Epstein's Island.
Well, I don't know if you saw, but one of the chief, the primary complainant who sued the Epstein estate, she just got hit by a bus. She looks about to die.
Got hit
Guffrey.
By a bus.
Yeah, her name is Guffrey. Look it up.
Where was that at?
Wherever she lives.
The fuck, man?
I know, it's so weird because it's like she posted a photo of herself and it's like she says she's got days left to live, and she looks really bruised up. But it's like, how are you going to post a selfie of yourself if you're about to die? Like, I don't know. This whole thing's weird.
It's all weird. Just like when that guy killed the United Healthcare CEO or whatever. That was also weird too.
Why is that weird?
Because it's just like some random fucking guy that knew how to 3D print a gun And like the way that the whole video looked, everything, and just like he knew exactly where the guy was at. He knew what time to come. The guy was coming out of the building. That's like some mob shit, man. That's like some fucking CIA shit.
That's true. Actually, you're right. That's a
And
hit.
like, if you really put everything together and like you really watch the video, it's like the way he was firing the gun, the only thing that, and like I would like to say, the only thing that I don't think make it real is that he got caught, but I think they wanted him to get caught on purpose. So
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. He was caught in a fucking McDonald's. He had like 4 or 5, 6 days to get out of the country if he really wanted to, you know. And the guy just went to like some McDonald's in Pennsylvania, and he had the gun on him still. That's the crazy part about it. It's like you have that many days to get rid of everything, and you didn't get rid of it. You know? Like the mafia, when they would do a hit, they would just leave the guns there. They would have like a fake gun, and they would just leave it there. You know, an unregistered gun, and just leave it at the crime scene. This guy takes the gun with him. That's the crazy part. That's why I believe it was all set up. And that's something we'll never find out about either. So, same thing with the guy that was hiding in the bush in Mar-a-Lago. And I've been to that area before, and that shit's locked down. I don't know how the guy even got to that area. Like they have fucking checkpoints set up, like like those police towers and stuff, like overlooking the bridge that you can go over into Mar-a-Lago. So I don't know how that guy got into a bush and was sitting in a bush for like 2 days or whatever, however long he was there. Shit's crazy to me.
That guy's very strange.
If you ever get the chance to go over there and see it, you'll see how locked down that shit is. So
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get the chance, but it's possible. My dad has been there for like events because his wife knows somebody that she like does bookkeeping for, so like they get like, you know, guest passes or whatever.
to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
but
Yeah, they can bring guests if you pay like over a fucking $1 million for a membership a year.
damn.
Something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my dad's wife knows somebody, you know, who's pretty wealthy. That like, you know, they're friends, and she does bookkeeping for her.
Are you in New York City?
No, I'm in Chicago.
Oh, you're in Chicago. Okay. I've never been to Chicago. I really want to go one day. What do you think about Chicago?
You know, it's just like a big city. It's got its pockets, you know, like if you stick to those pockets, like it's a good city, but there's a lot of fucking. The problem is the mayor here is such a piece of shit that like there's
she
no
is.
there's no his name is Brandon Johnson. There's no confidence in the city.
It's
And
not that black lady anymore, right?
no, she done.
Okay.
Beetlejuice.
She does look like Beetlejuice.
She's like
So
4'7".
you know Mark Rice on this app then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him and his son.
I told him, like, bro, your campaign's a lost cause if you're trying to run as a Republican in the suburbs of Chicago.
Not really. Like, you gotta understand, it's all about the messaging. Because everybody's getting fucked, and as shit gets tighter and tighter, people are gonna want property taxes to go down, and there's just no way. The system has to be doged. If they're gonna doge the Fed, they have to doge states. So taxpayers and people who feel the pinch, they will change their vote for competence because parties are irrelevant. It's the fucking bullshit artists that run in these parties that keep fucking over the taxpayers and the voters. It's one huge giant fucking bullshit because it's all like legacy. These people have been in power for like forever. So there's a changing of the guard, and Elon Musk is like the leader of the revolution.
Yeah, I want to get a Tesla just for that, honestly.
You should. I mean, the problem is, you know, I saw some people in a nice Tesla, you know, and I was like staring at them as I was walking by, and I think they're like I think they're paranoid, you know, because like they're just like worried about somebody like attacking them in their Tesla or something.
Oh, I'm sure. Honestly, I want it to happen. Like, let them burn my Tesla down. I can get an insurance claim. That sounds good to me. You know, and I'll just get a Cybertruck after that.
I don't know, man.
All I know is my wife, she's one of her best friends is like a fucking libtard crazy, and her whole family is, all her sisters are libtards, and like we have a Cybertruck in my neighborhood, and when they were driving by, her sister's like, "Oh, look at the Cybertruck! Ah, like, fuck Elon Musk!" Like these people are fucking crazy, man. And now here in Florida, I heard that like they're putting state troopers to protect some of the dealerships of Teslas because
Mhm.
people are trying to burn them down or whatever the fuck they're trying to do. So I think it's hilarious. And honestly, if states were to do what he's doing federally, I think the states would need to want that to happen. I don't think the federal government can come in and do that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah, it would be nice to see that.
Well, Elon says don't go after the protesters, go after the organizers and the funders.
That's true. That's very true.
So, I mean, Elon Musk is like the John Connor of the resistance now. I mean, he went on Fox News and said this is the biggest revolution since the first revolution of America. This is a revolution of government. And if it's, by the people for the people, it's not just federal. It's like there's going to be state revolutions, like states are going to flip. Like California could become Republican, Illinois could become Republican. Um because
crazy.
it's because the debts are that high. So like if Republicans can get control of the government, there could be some type of like national bailout or something that like squares all the books, because all these people on pensions, if they don't square the books, some states are going to fail. They're not going to be able to pay out their pension obligations. Nobody has a real accounting or an understanding of the fiscal cliff. No one. I've never seen anything in the media or anything the government that's put out that actually shows actual statistics. Ever.
That they hide it all.
I don't even they hide it, and then I don't even know if people know how to like create it and present it, because like they don't want to talk about it. Maybe, I don't know.
Of course they don't, because then all the truth will come out and people will see how corrupt their government officials really are.
I don't know. Have you ever like taken a financial course and like tried to like price bonds, and do all these like financial calculations with debt and bonds and loans and stuff like that?
No, actually, I haven't.
There's like books, there's like just standard formulas that have been in use forever. Um, and it's all basically like, it's all just math and tables. And, anyways, I'm just saying the fact that Trump really needs Elon and Doge to do like education to the population on the fiscal crisis and what their plan is, and like look at calendars and stuff, but they'll never do it. They'll never do it. And because the situation is so bad, and then the problem is when you start talking about how bad the situation is, it brings up other questions about Congress and Federal Reserve and the creation of dollars, So some of those conversations, it's like they don't want to have, because now that the new government is in power, there's no point in flushing the toilet. It's like, you don't flush it till much later on. You pull the rug later. You don't pull the rug now.
And you can see people are pissed about it, because they don't want any transparency. I don't know why people don't want transparency and want to see where their money's going. I think it's probably one of the best things that's ever happened is this transparency of the government. So
no, 100%. They need to make the whole thing transparent from here on out. Every dollar that gets spent, they need to put it in a public ledger. We, the taxpayers, demand it. The fact that we're subject to audit and we pay all this tax and we see where the money went, we're like, whoa, there's no transparency, and it's clown world. If there's going to be clown world, we need to be able to see it. This can never happen again. The government has to initiate legislation to provide total transparency, not some transparency, but total transparency of every dollar spent. It's just standard. This is what all these big five accounting firms do, is they bring transparency to the books. They essentially, I don't know if you know anybody that works in auditing, tax auditing and all these other things, but it's all forensic accounting, like, because a lot of people cook the books. and they do all these like risky types of placement within all the accounting protocols. The big thing is like Wall Street, because you can if you had a really bad quarter because you like lost a big client or something, some people are tempted to cook the books and not disclose the loss and carry it over to the next quarter or the next quarter. People just keep kicking the can down the road. That's what's happening.
That's what's been happening for years.
Yeah.
For years,
yeah.
man. And the thing is, people always had that assumption that, our money is not going where we want it to go. People always had that assumption. Now, when it's finally there, it's like, he was not an elected official. No. It's the only, and like, I'll tell you this, if Elon Musk was doing this under Biden, you wouldn't be hearing the same thing about it. It's only because he's friends with Trump and that Trump, allowed this to happen is why we're hearing this. So, I think it's fucking ridiculous that people are going after this guy because he's exposing, where this money's going to. And when he did the State of the Union address, and he mentioned all the shit that all the money, millions and billions of dollars going to this unnecessary, stupid shit like gender studies in fucking Iraq or whatever the fuck. It's, I was shocked to hear that, But then again, I wasn't at the same time because I know America loves to put their money and influence anywhere possible. So yeah.
Did you see today that Elon Musk, there's something called the National Institute for Peace, and they were funding the Taliban and funding the Iraqi government. Now, I don't know if this is like post-invasion or,
I was going to ask, what year was that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the news today. And they tried to delete all the data, but because they're incompetent, the Doge team was able to recover all the data from the servers. They thought they deleted all the financial evidence. So, yeah, they're doing hearings. Like, I really want to listen to this whole JFK assassination hearing because there's so much in there, and they did bring up Epstein. It's just so easy to make Epstein go away by not thinking about him. But when you realize that he really was running one of the most sophisticated and long-running honeypot operations like in human history, and his connection to Ghislaine Maxwell, it opens up a lot of questions. And the other one is what's his name? It's God. He got. Oh, is P Diddy? Is P Diddy was running his own Epstein honeypot operation with all these celebrities and politicians. Like, there's just so many photos of P Diddy. Did you know P Diddy invested in X with Elon Musk when he took it over?
I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is also crazy. Is that there's a dispensary near my house that sells marijuana, and it's owned by P Diddy. He's got so much money. I know, and his kids are just like, they must be living the high life. They must be so freaking rich, and I don't know. They may have frozen his assets. They probably froze his assets.
Did. He's in the same jail as that guy Sam Friedman.
Sam Bankman.
The guy who owned what's it called? FX or whatever the fuck it's called or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the same jail as him. They did an interview with him, while he was in the jail, and he's like, one of the guy who was interviewing him was like, that P Diddy's also locked up in the same prison you are. And he's like, yeah, I know, da-da-da. Like, I didn't even know that he was in jail right now, P Diddy. I had no idea until I listened to that interview. So.
This is somebody in my chat said that Epstein is Donald Trump's connection. That like the conspiracy is that Trump is being blackmailed, or that this is why fake news is like a big business, because you can say anything, you can make up any kind of conspiracy that you can possibly create that sounds good, and if you present it professionally, it's all just hypnosis. Nobody knows the truth. Nobody. Donald Trump knows the truth, which is kind of interesting, but like, to me, he doesn't seem like he's caught up in all of this. He seems so independent and like, fully himself. But people are going to complain, and everybody on this app, you can go into a bunch of rooms that are just like Jew hate rooms. And they have their conspiracies, they have their prejudice, and there's really just no evidence to support it. Really, the problem is people don't go within. So, like, they'll blame other countries, but they'll never blame their own government. So, a lot of the African Americans on this app that are J word haters or other racists on this app that say the word the Jews all the time, they're unwilling to examine their own government. And they're all just a bunch of bullshit artists.
Yeah, that's something that I've definitely noticed here on this app too. They need to worry about that shit before worrying about Jews.
You and God.
Yeah.
This is the meaning of the teaching, yeah.
But when you come into some of the rooms, bro, you like you demolish some of these fucking retards on here. It's fucking hilarious, bro. Shit's too funny.
Yeah, I think this is a roast app, and like honestly, I think roast communication is like very healthy for a group of people because it's basically a catharsis and everybody's laughing. And then you point out people's own absurdity to them. So, I don't know if you've ever been a part of a roast, but like when my dad retired, he gave a roast. Or like my dad would get invited to people's like parties to do a roast. I don't know. It's like, but it's just a format, meaning you can go on YouTube and watch like the Dean Martin roast, the Johnny Carson roast. It's a comedy show. So people on this app want to make it a tragedy or a drama, but the Benoni makes it into a comedy.
Yeah, I've seen some roasts. The roast of Tom Brady. Who else was it? Whatever. I've seen a couple other ones. Tom Brady one was fucking hilarious. But yeah, most of the people on here are comedy, in my opinion. Really look at it like fucking idiots. Most of the people on this app. Let's see here. 2 years. What's up, Matt?
Hey, how's it going?
Matt, you always like pop into my room and then you just pop right out. Like, why do you bother?
Well, then I find out that a lot of the rooms you're in is just yourself.
You're trying to see like what I'm listening to?
Well, I generally like to come in and have some dialogue, but often it's you broadcast things, and that's why I pop out, to be quite honest.
Oh, but you never say anything. You just like come up
Because
and then you leave.
you're broadcast. I don't think I could be mistaken, but I just assumed you wouldn't stop your broadcasting if like you were in rooms intending to broadcast, not have dialogue. I usually just pop in rooms. It's not personal. I usually just pop in rooms that have dialogue. And most of the time, I think you have your rooms where you just broadcast, if I'm not mistaken.
Got it. Well, create a ticket and submit a complaint.
No, I'm not complaining. I respect it's just not for me.
Got it. Like I said, create the ticket, put it in the complaint file, and see what happens. See if there's a response to the complaint.
I pop into your room sometimes and just to see like what's going on, and then I'll just try to go find the actual room itself.
I know. I like people who use me as like a tool to like do discovery, because a lot of people on this app like, they'll hear my room and they'll be like, oh, what room is that? What room is that? Like they want to go there and get the source, but they use me as the discovery.
Yeah, you have like 15 rooms going on at once, so.
Right.
You always seem to be like on top of what's going on, like the drama that's going on.
I know, because this is like its own, parallel society. So it's amazing how people, when they're late to the convo, they want to get the skinny, they want to get the latest, and it's in that way, it's like a celebrity gossip uh, platform, or it's there's so many crazy rooms on this app. There are so many big room, crazy rooms, cliques you've never heard of. You think it's a small world, but it's like you go into these other cliques and you're like, oof, I don't, there's no desire to know any of the speakers, but it's interesting nonetheless. There's a lot of interesting accents, and it's really the African Americans on this app, in my opinion, which is like the untouched gold. If you could transmute, black people podcast and just basically pirate Clown House, like it, and if you were to run ads on it, I think people would listen to it because it's the craziest content. And even for international, listeners to listen to African Americans having like crazy conversations, like they just, they can't even, like, they have to translate it. It's just like, what is this even? It just causes chaos, but it's interesting still.
They're probably like, I'm never going to fucking America in my life. Our Americans are crazy as fuck. Oh man, they remind me of the Muslims, bro. They're like, they want to act like they're all brother and sister, and then when it comes down to it, they all fucking attack each other and go after each other when there's no one else to attack. Oh man, some of them are just fucking idiots on this app. I swear, man. Especially the Black Hebrew Israelites. Those are the stupidest people I've ever encountered on this app. I think they're dumber than the fucking Muslims that exist on this app. But yeah, it's been a crazy 4 years on this app, that's for sure.
It'd be funny as if like the Trump administration actively takes a role in moderating this app and removing all threats and terrorism and murder. Like the Federal Trade Communication could like suspend this app's placement in the app store if they don't actually like listen in and delete terrorist propagandists. I think the government would be interested in that type of moderation. I don't see why they wouldn't take that next step.
We were lied to about drones just in the last few months. And so when we talk about this, the deep state, not only was it around during JFK's assassination, but it's here today. It is right before our eyes. And they are doing this in real time with regards to the Epstein list, which the government still has not released today, and the American people deserve to know who rich and powerful is on that list and who the government is covering up for. So for decades, we've seen this happen, and I'll get to a few questions. Mr. Morley, I want to start with you first. You said, according to your testimony, and asking, what did the CIA know and when did they know it? What do you think that is? What is the answer to that question?
I want to preface my remarks by saying I'm a liberal Democrat, and I don't shy away from that. That's part of my reporting, and that's part of my reputation for straight shooting. What did the CIA know about Lee Harvey Oswald, and when did they know it? A whole lot. 198 pages worth of information were on the CIA's desk when President Kennedy left for Dallas. So that foundational fact should guide us in understanding what happened.
So who do you think fired the shot?
I don't know.
You don't know, but you don't believe it was Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oswald was not the intellectual author of Kennedy's death, even if he fired a gun that day.
Who do you think was the intellectual author of Kennedy's death?
Kennedy's enemies high in his own government is as specific as I can be based on the available evidence. Probably CIA and Pentagon.
How long had the CIA been surveying Lee Harvey Oswald before the assassination attempt?
4 years.
4 years. And what are some of the highlights of the CIA's pre-assassination file on Lee Harvey Oswald?
They started reading his...
Damn, it's pretty definitive. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that clip that I played earlier, but this guy claims that the Pentagon and the CIA killed Kennedy, that high ups in his government killed him. So, I mean, that's pretty much LBJ in my opinion. And generals, most likely. Or ambitious colonels. Dr. Danny, my paid social audio crisis actor. You're the first Clownhouse social audio crisis actor, Danny.